Are you thinking about buying, selling, or investing in Ventura real estate? Maybe you're relocating to our city and you want to learn more about the area before you move here. Well, if so, this is one video you won't want to miss. For those that don't know me, my name's Brandon. I'm a local real estate agent here in Ventura, California, helping people buy, sell, and invest for the last 8 years. And through this video, we're going to talk to you about what's going on in our local market. We're going to identify our deal of the week, our luxury pick of the week, and our investment pick of the week. We're also going to talk to you about some of the headlines and things that we're paying attention to really help our clients make informed decisions. So if you're thinking about making a move and you need some help, stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That way you can receive regular updates like this each and every week. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump right in. All right, let's just get right into it in our first segment where we dive into the data. All right, so as you can tell, we have the MLS up in front of us, but we're going to break down what's gone on in the last week. Now, we saw 17 new listings hit the market with 15 price changes. 15 homes went under contract, 26 closed, 20 went pending, 5 came back on the market. Now, the first thing I like to do is jump into the active under contract listings because this is going to show us how quickly homes are moving into escrow. And so I've set it up here in a way where we can summarize everything into just one pretty view, but we're going to filter this by days on market. Then from there, we can actually dive right into to see what day it went into contract. But it kind of summarizes that for the most part by this report. So for the most part, we're seeing that within 60 days, homes are moving into escrow. Now, obviously, we have a couple outliers here, and we could go and look into this, but we're not going to do that in this video. That's reserved for when we're working with clients and we're trying to figure out what the heck is going on in their neighborhood. For this video's purposes, we're just covering high-level information and teaching you how to make informed decisions. And if you need help, obviously reach out. So within the first 60 days, for the most part, another thing I want to let you know about is this is a mix of all different types of properties. One of the things I like to jump into is the next stage of the escrow process, which is the pending status. Now, the pending sales for the week are here listed, but we can also see how quickly they are moving from active under contract to pending. Now, again, we can dive into each and every one of these, and what you'll notice on some of these is that they've moved from pending to closed within the last week. So that's why you're seeing things like this. It can get a little confusing, but we can also go right into here and we can jump into the history and we can see exactly what's gone on within each and every update. Like I mentioned, pending to closed. So if you want to know more, just let me know and I'll help you out. But I'm not going to go through that today because, again, this is high level. When we go through this information, we can, again, filter it by days on market. But I think the best picture that you'll see for what's going on locally as of this last week is going to be our closed sales. Now, this is going to tell us a lot more information because not only can we filter it and see how quick homes are selling, again, within about 50 days for the most part, we can also see are sellers getting what they're asking for? Are homes selling for over asking or under asking? We can also see are sellers paying or offering concessions to the buyers. You may have heard about the recent settlement where the National Association of Realtors totally changed all the ways in which we do business. Now sellers are no longer offering compensation to a cooperating broker up front. It's being requested through their offer, but we can see here who's still paying for a buyer's agent's fee. So when they submit the offer, they're asking for X number of dollars or X percent, and then it's another negotiating point. But we can also see from the buyer's perspective and seller's perspective who's offering concessions for closing costs, property improvements. They also have one for financing costs. Obviously, you can see buyer broker fees. And then there's also other category. So if there's like miscellaneous repairs or credits or anything like that, you can see all that here. This tells me for the most part is that like 99, 98% of these, I'm not that quick at math, are offering compensation, concessions, working with buyers agents. And that's important to know because you can see that they're still selling their homes, and some of them are selling them for over asking. And now it's not always the case, but again, it's very situational when you're buying and selling real estate. But with that said, this does bring me to my favorite section where we talk about our deal of the week. Now, this one over here on El Dorado Street in Ventura closed for $950,000, which was actually 91% of its initial asking price. And they also covered closing costs, credits, and buyer's compensation fee for the buyers. So let's just take a look at this thing, because when you look at this house, it looks like it's dated, looks like they did a little bit of work, but this right here is, in my opinion, and feel free to let me know in the comments section below, this is like the perfect single family home to buy if you're looking to do some work, to build some equity, make it your own. If you're okay with doing that and taking on projects and making the improvements yourself, I think this is a really fun project. New floors, new paint, new kitchen, countertops, maybe take out some of the cabinetry, refinish the cabinetry, throw in some recessed lights. Look at this backyard though. You also have this nice little patio deck kind of thing going on over here. And I mean, as stepbrothers would say, there's so much room for activities. I really like this one for a variety of reasons, but let me know what you think in the comment section below, because this is my deal of the week. Let's talk about what's going on in the luxury market in our next section, our luxury pick of the week. Now, some people aren't going to say this is luxury, but if you ask me, I think at one point this was luxury living. Double-sided fireplace, ocean views of the Conejo Grade. You got all of like Oxnard, Ventura, the ocean, obviously, Channel Islands. Pretty sweet spot. But look at the layout here. Nice kitchen island. Tons of natural light just getting in. And if you haven't already seen it, they've got a pretty cool feature out here. And it is this pool that we're going to get to. But as we jump through the house real quick, let's go outside. Check out this patio. I don't know why, but I'm really digging the aesthetic out here. I've never really been into the covered pools, but this is kind of cool. I like the brickwork they got going on over here. I feel like mid-century, modern, boho, get a designer in here and you could really make this thing pop. But you've got a pool up on the mountain where you're looking at the ocean. That's some luxury living if you ask me. But this one over here on Via Baja is our luxury pick of the week. Okay, Brandon, but I don't really want to buy a luxury property. I want to get something like an investment. If you're not looking for luxury living, maybe you're looking for a investment opportunity, come check out our investment pick of the week. Now this one is in downtown Ventura, and let's just show you what we're looking at here. Blow this up. Right on Main Street, 721 Main Street. This is a historic home built in the late 1800s, but this one's pretty cool because you got the classic house, but it's also a mixed use building. So you have not only store frontage, you also have residential, and in the back, there's also an apartment that you can rent out. There's also plenty of parking too. So if you wanted to do like a work, live, rent kind of situation, this could be a perfect fit. But listed at $2.995. It was actually previously listed for $3.5 million. I particularly like the backyard. Personally, I kind of like the grass and the privacy with the mature landscaping. But right out back, like I mentioned, you have this little like studio apartment where you can also make some rental income off the back of this thing. Again, the store frontage. And here's the property from above. You know, this isn't the right fit for everyone, but if it is something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out. We can dive into all this. We can talk about the rents. We can walk through a full analysis and talk to you about all the details that you'd ever need. But that does it for our investment pick of the week. All right, so now, well, we've gotten through the data, we've talked about some listings, but what's actually going on that we should be aware of? Well, let's jump into our next section, the Mo You Know. So last week, we got some big news from the Federal Reserve relating to their beige book. We also got information from the Department of Labor talking about the jobless claims. They're actually down 15,000 jobless claims compared to the week before, which is a good thing. However, the unemployment claims are still at a point that they haven't seen for years. So we are seeing that the job market is a little bit tougher for those that are trying to get back into the market. But with all that said, it does seem like we're going to get more information on November 1st with the official October jobs report being released. Now, stay tuned for that because that's going to be something that we want to pay close attention to. And so you just want to make sure you're aware of where that's at. But if you want to learn all about that, feel free to check the description. I'll link to the Department of Labor's website so you can read their whole report. I'll also link to the beige book so you can read all that. And tell me what you think about all this stuff in the economy and how it's going to affect real estate here in Ventura. Now, I talked about it earlier and how this stuff affects mortgage rates. Well, last week we saw rates jump to levels that we haven't seen since July earlier this year. Rates are now back at 7%, which is causing a lot of buyers and prospective sellers to kind of put things on pause for whatever reason. It could be political, that could be that they're waiting to hear about the jobs report, could be that they're waiting for the next Federal Reserve meeting. It's so many moving parts, but with all that said, the Mortgage Bankers Association, they took a look at the numbers and volume dropped 6.7% from the previous week, hitting the lowest levels we've seen since July. And it's kind of interesting that that coincides with the jobless claims. It seems like there's some sort of, I don't know, connection. Maybe it's correlation is the better way to put it. But analysts expect that there might be some potential for rates to improve. However, both buyers and sellers are really cautious and still optimistic about what the future will hold. So if you have any thoughts on this, let me know in the comments below. All right, let's jump into some local news because if you live in Ventura, you know about Main Street and the fact that it is kind of a dividing point in the sense of should it be reopened or should it remain closed? Well, let me know what you think in the comment section below because as of a recent survey done by the city, it sounds like everyone's divided. Now, in their survey results, it sounds like of the property owners that are in the affected area, 60% of them preferred to have Main Street reopened to cars, and the other 34, they said they want it closed. But with all that said, nearly 53% of the business owners, they preferred to keep it closed, but 44 would like it reopened. So it's interesting because between business owners and property owners, there's kind of a divide. What do you think about all this? Now, these survey results will help the city council make a final decision on the pedestrian-friendly area next month. So if you want to learn more, check out the VC Star article in the link in the description, and you can learn all about it. Now, what about if you are looking for something fun to do? We've talked about a lot of different stuff, and it's Halloween week. Let's talk about something fun. Well, over at the Crown Plaza, the Aqua Beachfront Bar is actually throwing a huge Halloween party. They're going to have a costume contest. You're going to have face painting. They're going to have all sorts of special cocktails related to Halloween. And so if you want to check that out, go check it out this weekend. It's actually going to be on November 1st from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Crown Plaza. And don't forget to wear your costume because that costume contest you could be the winner. Well, that does it for our video this week, but if you have any questions about the local market or anything that we talked about in today's video, feel free to let us know in the comment section below or give me a call directly. Love to chat. And if you have any questions about how to make your next move, be sure to check my website because I have tons of resources there. You can learn about how to prepare your home for sale. We also have information for buyers too. So if you want to learn how to get started on the right foot and buy your first home or your next home, we've got all the tools there. But honestly, I find that instead of throwing all these resources at you, let me just throw this at you. Give me a call. We'll set up a conversation and we'll walk through your situation together. With all that said, if you need anything, let me know.